All right.
Could someone please explain to me what "re" means? No.
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 Did I hit that?
All right, we're gonna start talking now. What's up, everybody? This is Anthony.
Matt.
I was staring it up at the TV screen the whole time and not the camera. You can live with it. Anyways, this is Asked Amp episode 62?
No,
Or 3.
There you go.
It's 3. Anyways, yeah, this is a question and answer show where we take your questions that you
Butcher
submit.
them to hell.
You submit them down below in the doobly-doo, and then we disappoint you because we either lose track of what we were supposed to try to answer or we just go off on a tangent. So, but at least it's honest. I'm going to draw a question.
That's a fun one.
Pound
Snacks.
cake.
Should I put trigger warning? Food.
President Bush.
Oh, he's back.
What up, fam? I completely disagree with your foreign policy stances on Iraq, but
That's a Pandora's box right there.
we'll just, I'm going to be getting some cry pants soon, but I've heard some things about the combat pants and the knee pads falling out. True. Are there field pants looked down upon as cheaper cry field pants or combat pants? I like the field pants and I like the combat pants. The combat pants will tend to, every once in a while, if you're rough on them, liberate a knee pad. So if you don't put them in there right, they will fly out. But I like the field pants a lot.
Yeah, you can usually snipe a pair of field pants for a decent price.
I'm all about them.
Yeah, it's just how much money you're willing to dump into it.
Butterfly in the sky.
Oh, hey! I'll take these.
Snacks! I put my snacks in here when I carried the questions over. So it's like,
We should just keep putting food in here, like you pull a sandwich out next.
Tostitos pizza rolls.
Get back here. Aaron DiNapoli. Hey, Amped, is that UCP Delta in the top left-hand corner? If so, where did you get it? And
That's
how
a
do you feel
G3.
about other special snowflake camos? I.e. UCPD, any of the Cryptech patterns, and other various East European camos. Thanks a bunch.
Cryptech is not Snowflake. If you
No.
can go buy it at Dick's, it's not Snowflake. I'm sorry.
It's a hunting camo.
It's a hunting camo.
If you don't know our stance on snowflake camo, you haven't been watching our channel long enough. In that we will go to stupid lengths to find stupid camo.
Him and I are a collector of the obscure when it comes to uniforms.
Yep.
And so is our buddy Meow. He also has a ton of obscure uniforms too. As well as some other people. But like the thing is like if it's cool and it's rare and like I know other people can't get it,
Yeah.
I want it more.
And
I have no reason to want it, and it's not to gloat or to like. It's literally like it's like
it is a collector's thing.
it's like a collector's thing, like for people who collect stamps,
Yeah.
or like some people collect like Matchbox cars, or like antique toys, or whatever you're into. Like for me, it's just like, ooh, a little Latvian pattern.
Yeah.
Like it's just sometimes you are super down on something cool. But yeah, that was UCP Delta. For all of you guys that. Don't know what that is, get on Google, learn it. It's actually pretty cool. It's got a cool history to it. And it is the 4th in the series of UCP camouflagers. There's Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta. So, obviously 2 of which have never made the light of day. There's that. Woo. Crafty Commando. Hey guys, I know you're using a room mic for your audio, but you might be able to normalize, compress, limit it a bit. I found your intros are polished and loud, and then you got to crank the fuck out of things to hear the dialogue. This creates other issues. If other shit on your machine devices makes sound, maybe we just do it because it's funny.
I'm fucking eating right now. You think I care?
I mean, we care, but not enough.
We do.
Not enough. Higher polish, edited, and it blasts yours. Thanks. I mean, that was a statement, not a question, but we'll roll with it. Direct all those complaints to Matt.
Yeah, message me on Facebook. We'll talk.
Yeah, message him on Facebook. I'm going to get another one because that wasn't a question. What's this one? Bricks of the Dead. Hey, I'm thinking about getting a VFC VR16 SOP mod. SOP mod. This guy, right here.
Yay!
How about that?
What's up, my bros?
SOP mod. I approve. And I was wondering if a Crytac upper will fit on a VFC lower. Second, can I send in an AEG for tech work and get it Milson West ready in my ideal budget? Thanks for answering my question on the live show. Flash. About SAS impression groups. Greetings from Kami, California. Oh, you spelled your own state wrong. Better than insert my opinion. Okay, so The Crytek receivers and VFC receivers will kind of fit together, but it's nowhere near reliable, and I wouldn't say that works on every model, so I wouldn't get your hopes up. That's what I would say about that. Sometimes they fit together, sometimes they don't. They're very, very, very similar in OEM, so sometimes they just kind of slip together, but sometimes they're like, they don't. So honestly, if you're going to get another upper receiver for that gun, I would just get another VFC if you're already getting a VFC. Keep it within brand. Obviously, compatibility will work then. But yeah, we do AEG tech work. What you should do is email sales@ampedairsoft.com. I don't know if we'll put that in text or not at the bottom. But anyway,
Probably not.
Email sales@ampedairsoft.com. Email sales@ampedairsoft.com. And what you'll do is you'll talk to a tech. Or now you won't talk to a tech. You'll talk to either Mark or you'll talk to Kurt or you'll talk to Jesse. And what they'll do is they're the sales team. What they'll do is they'll get you all of your stuff lined up to get you a tech number and put in the tech queue, and they'll tell you about how long it'll take and all that stuff, and estimated price. And then they'll get you, if it's something really in depth, they'll get you in touch with a tech, and then you can talk directly to them as well. Sales@ampedairsoft.com.
Yes. Dewuka. Yo, Amped. What do you guys feel about the new Crytek Vector? Personally, a little worried about it internally due to how everything will be assembled in Access, but I'm also excited for it because I've really fallen for the design. Loved it in Modern Warfare 2. And it just sates my desires for unorthodox replicas like my AA-12, Mucho Amore.
Much love.
Put a spin on it. I think I'm on the same page with you. Like, I haven't tinkered with one. I know Crytek's going to put the effort and money into making it.
I mean, it's gonna be suitably okay, because the thing is Crytek.
Yeah, they wouldn't slap their name on it if it wasn't at least good.
Yeah, for you guys that do not know, Crytek is actually owned by Chris, the parent, the company that builds the actual real Vector.
Mm-hmm.
So Crytek is the Airsoft division of Chris Firearms, which is also responsible for the Sphinx series of pistols, the Defiance series of rails and suppressors, silencers, whatever. Both terms are okay. And also Crytek for Airsoft stuff.
Yeah.
So it was only natural that Crytek would make the Airsoft version under their parent company. So they're going to put the effort into it to make it not suck. But
that's not going to stop like 12-year-olds from getting one and then ripping the gearbox open and then.
And it's also not going to stop the inevitable part that AEGs, since they have a lot of moving parts, have a lot of potential failure points.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool though. I want to see it work.
Yeah.
I like to be. Oh, I'm not. That was big. We'll come back to that one later.
It's definitely gonna be cool, but we've already gotten hit with so many like, can we HPA it? I'm like, just
probably not.
Look at the schematics and you tell me.
You should probably know. No. That thing looks like it's all like.
It has an angled nozzle.
It does this weird.
How does that work?
I don't know.
Is there like a?
I'm not an engineer.
Is there? Did they? Put
I make pretty pictures on the internet.
Did they put a joint in it or like a spring?
Whatever. So this one's from Cousin. Hey, Cousin. Hey, Amped. I know you guys don't want to even attempt to try this, but everyone in Airsoft is probably going to need to know at one point or another you guys should attempt to get a Chris Vector by Crytek and attempt to take it apart.
Good timing.
Also, I kind of want to get one so all is in your favor, lol. Anthony doesn't want to attempt this. Hashtag Yeti water jugs are the best. Yeti water jugs are awesome, by the way. Yeah, like okay. So spoiler alert for all of you guys out there: we are gonna get them in.
Yeah, I mean
we are gonna do videos about them.
Oh God.
We don't know how in depth we're gonna take them apart because, to be honest with you, Matt and I, though we are both mechanically competent, that thing, the way it looks on the inside, is absolutely terrifying to me.
I used to fix cars and that scares me.
Yeah, like I used to do armorer work and build real AR-15s and stuff. Like I am not messing with that. Like I don't want to. That looks scary. So what I'll do is I'll make Legler, our tech, sit here and do it, and then I'll poke him, and then I'll prod him, and then I'll make him do it on film. Because that's way easier. Because then I won't get in trouble when one of them blows up.
We should start doing like Amped style like unboxings, but it's like when we get like crazy like test models and shit in and like brand new things. So we'll just literally have like Legler open a brand new Vector, the first one, and just like, well, here goes nothing.
Just starts pounding pins out and ripping screws out.
Spring.
Hop up like, oh, this looks stupid.
He's like pulling pieces out. He doesn't know what the hell they are. That'd be fun.
I think that could be a good one.
Ian Kemp, my boy Tony. How do you get that operator black, tan, green, gray spray paint effect on your helmet? Also, please do load out vids for the Polski kit. Where do you get that Polish camo? And a bunch of
There will be one
hashtags.
eventually.
Oh my god. He literally had a conversation to himself with hashtags. They could just read those. Free.
Yeah, they'll be
Just literally refer to the how to paint video, but instead of a BB gun, put your helmet there. Same principle, basically.
Yeah, the how to paint video
Yeah.
wasn't really so much to be just about your gun. It was just general tips for you to how to paint anything, really.
Yep.
I liked how a lot of people were overly critical about how we did things in that. And
They're like, the end result was less than desirable. I was like,
it's not supposed to be perfect. It's camouflage spray paint.
do you know what that gun's gonna look like in 2 months?
In about 3 weeks, 3 games, this is going to be half black again from me, like, dropping it and kicking it around.
Yeah.
So, like, first of all, if you think that, like, it's supposed to be perfect, you're dumb. Second of all, I would also like to point out that a lot of the stuff that we did in the video was field expedient, so
Yeah.
that it didn't take me all day to do that. Like, there's a reason why I didn't take the gearbox out, and I didn't, like, individually spray paint every position of the selector point. And, like, I used a magazine to keep the paint out of the mag well instead. Like,
Yeah.
it was field expedient, guys, and that's why I told you how to do it that way, because I just didn't want to do it for 12 hours. It only took about an hour.
Yeah. If you take out wait time for
If you take out the wait time, it took about an hour for us to do that entire video.
That's how I
Oh, man, there's another one. I tried to dodge one, and I got another one.
You left him in there.
But either way, it's mostly the thing is that video is mostly about tips and tricks, not so about like a definitive guide. You guys, especially with like your patterning and stuff like that, and what you choose to use. I literally said in the video, like, be creative.
Yeah.
The only thing that holds you back is you.
Yeah.
This was just me giving you a quick, dirty technique to make it look like it had grass on it. So I mean, do what you want. It's your stuff. And like I said, this is gonna be half black in like 3 games anyway. So like, what's
Still gotta paint mine.
Yeah. Howdy, fellers. Appreciate the honesty on your channel. Oh, sorry, this is Hitman SVT, by the way. There are too many Airsoft corporate clowns on YouTube these days. I'm looking to get into Airsoft tech. If my hot rodding habit has taught me anything, it's don't tinker with your daily driver, or in this case, shooter. Mistakes were made. I did the same thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Can you recommend a good AEG maker model, or give me some idea of what to look for in a potential lab rat BB blaster? Eventually, this would become my backup, so I'd like something that can be made into a reliable sweet shooter, even if it does not start that way. I'm open to a boneyard project, but I want to make sure I don't wind up with something that is beyond repair. Also, I don't want to spend a bunch of time, effort, and green on something that would never amount to a hill of beans. Anyways, appreciate it. Hashtag, you don't have to sell out to make a buck. Hashtag, if I can rebuild a transmission, I can shim a gearbox. That is actually true. If you can rebuild a transmission, you're potentially pretty okay at fucking working on airsoft guns.
Best thing I can say is if you look for boneyard right off the bat, but stick to the name brands, get a GMP, get like a Top Tech G&G, get a VFC. Stick with those because they're pretty much all to their respective brands sometimes, but for the most part TM spec. So you can basically, there's almost nothing that could be broken on it that can't be replaced to some point.
With an upgrade part.
Yeah, besides like say someone like bent the receiver or something like, which again can be replaced.
The biggest thing that comes in the cost of airsoft guns isn't so much the internals, it's the externals. So as you step up in quality of externals, like tougher CNC machined aluminum rails and like nice aluminum receivers and stuff like that, that's when they start getting expensive. It's usually external sets, because like the lowest end VFC guns and the highest end VFC guns, there could be a couple $100 of price difference there.
Yeah.
And the internals are actually mostly the same. There's not very many of them that have different internals. It's just the externals and the complication of like that model. So for example, the scars were usually pretty expensive. That's because there's a lot of stuff going on with a scar. EM4, which has the same gearbox in it, same barrel, you know, not different hop up, but you know, that is cheaper because it's simpler.
Yeah.
So, you know, it just depends on your externals really more than anything.
Yeah, it's definitely a good idea, and that's maybe something that should be preached a little more. You know, like unless you really are completely 100% confident in your teching skills, like have like that G&G combat machine or something that's just, you know, like maybe not your main rifle, but just that gun that you never mess with. That, you know, just if you don't abuse the shit out of it, it's just always gonna work. Just like a standard VFC or something, and then you tinker with all the other ones.
Like most of the combat machines have exactly the same internals in them.
Yeah.
Like almost all the combat machines have the same internals in them. From model to model, they're almost identical.
Yeah. Spade, Anthony, Matt. I'm getting a Pantac Minimap, and I've seen that people are having problems with the pack wobbling on the operator's back. Any fix for this? I think I responded to you on one of the social media
We've
things.
said this a lot, too.
Yeah.
It's bungee cord, man. Just go to, like, a craft store, like Michael's or Packatans or whatever, and they'll sell, like, bungee cord on, like, spools. Get a bunch of that, and then just weave it back and forth across your pack, and then put some, like, closures on it. You'll be fine.
Yeah, there's enough like hooks and loops and like little things on the thing. Run like have your pack mounted and then the extra molly that hangs off on the back panel of your plate carrier, just weave into the pack back and forth like you're mollying something, and that'll cinch it down. That, or you can try and find like the 1-inch straps that are like on the GMR Minimap.
Yep, you can do
Just
that
buckle
too.
those in.
Michael Molina, do you guys think the ProTech Mark II kicks the P-Star Jack's ass any day of the week? No. I don't. I think they function very, very similar to each other, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
The big thing about like HPA systems is that, like, other than a little bit of percentage points of difference between one and between the other, almost all of them that are almost all of them that are cylinder drop-in systems for the most part, unless they have something that functions drastically different, like the N7, for example, they will all pretty much shoot about identical.
Yeah.
Because they all function on the same principles. Nozzle backwards, single solenoid, you know.
Because, I mean, I know we've said this a million times, but, like, if you look at a Jack and a ProTech to someone who's unknown or unknowing, they look exactly the same.
You pull
the
them
cylinder drop-in things, they can't look different, so it's a very small and tight space that these, like, ProTech and Wolverine and Polar Star, that all these companies have to work with to make their design different and in their hopes better than the competition. So like there's only certain things you can do to change all that on the inside. So
yeah, like percentage wise, like so for example, like an F1 to a Jack, it's only like slightly more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, functionally it's pretty much the same, but it's slightly more efficient. An Inferno Gen 2 is functions a lot different than an Inferno Gen 1, so there I'd say is a substantial difference. I would say that the Redline N7, because it has a nozzle forward design, functions very different than like a nozzle backwards design like the Jack or the Mark II. So that's going to give you something different.
Yeah.
So really, the ones that are truly going to stand out and be different in all of those setups are going to be your Redline N7. The Reaper from Wolverine is going to be substantially different when it comes out finally. The F2 from Polar Star is going to be substantially
That'll
different.
Be interesting.
And the Wolverine Gen 2 Inferno. Those four are going to function different than all of the other ones because those all have something about them that makes them function different. The rest of them all function nearly the same.
Yeah, so the next year of drop-ins should be
interesting.
Hopefully more interesting than the previous year.
Exactly.
Nom 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 nom.
So I was the last one. That's all on you.
Was it?
Yeah.
Hello.
But yeah, they're all similar. There you go.
Yeah. Swellsy 2 Oh, that
one.
No, that's 1 week ago. Hey guys.
About a week ago.
Usually hook me up on answers in your live shows, but
Fair.
I've missed a few as of recently. A few questions I've
You didn't
had
miss
for a
anything.
while are...
You didn't miss anything. You're fine.
Yeah, it's the same thing every
It's
week.
the same thing every week. We answer the same 10 questions every time.
Funny thing is, we're running late today, so we're probably going to start the live show.
Yeah, actually, while we're recording
Great.
this, there might be a live show going in a little bit.
How important is the gearbox shell in an HPA drop-in build, as well as other static parts?
Let's just go read them all first, and then we'll work our way through them.
Is it a good idea to have a backup full lower build and upper parts for Milsim events? One being HPA, the other AEG. And third, is there any solution for uppers and lowers that don't match up? Thanks for even looking at this. You guys have done amazing things for this community. Insert generic hashtags here.
To be fair, you should pay attention on Reddit because apparently we're terrible.
$4.22.
$4.22. Rip.
I'm gonna go backwards because I do that.
It's easier.
Matching different brand upper and lowers, not really.
Don't do that.
Even if you somehow like Dremel and like butt smash like a GMP to something else, you're gonna have alignment issues and things that you can't fix, and then you can't return parts to metal.
Just get same brand.
Yeah,
same brand and within the same model type as well. So don't try to smash a plastic combat machine upper on a top tech lower.
Yeah, because that's just asking for Shrekkiness.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely a good idea. Pretty much all of us carry at least a full gun and a lower. usually I run like an HPA full gun, like my 416, and then I just have a basic VFC AG standard gearbox as a lower.
Same thing with me. I'll have a VFC lower with an HPA system in it, and then I'll have then I'll have my 416 with the gearbox in it, and I'll just run whichever one I prefer to start off with, and then if I get tired or if I want something different or if something breaks, I'll just swap them out. And then you might want to get like different buckings. Just carry some extra buckings.
Keep like 2 or 3 buckings and a basic like the Allen keys, multi-tool always help, and a couple of screwdrivers and stuff.
You should be good with all that.
If you're okay with doing teching stuff, just bring a spare gearbox, and then you'll have to tear your lower apart, and that'll take more time. Usually the uppers or the lower is the easiest to do. Mm-hmm. And then how important is a gearbox shell in an HPA build is rather important.
For a cylinder drop-in? Yeah, because depending on how good of quality the gearbox shell is and how good it matches the manufacturer of your body will determine how good your alignment is.
Yeah, because you have to remember there's certain things like how like VFC ones you can get away with because usually their bodies have the threading for the buffer tube, so you don't have to worry about like the spring catch and everything in the back, yada yada. I know like Rich from Wolverine does a lot of like chopping on gearboxes to like cut weight. I know a couple people like Dobie, he did really cool when he was installing an N7, and he made the top cylinder half removable. So all you had to do is pop the upper off and then boop, and then you could literally like undo the wires and slip the unit out of the lower with the gearbox still installed, which is pretty cool. But he's also like, you know, done NASA stuff in space.
Dobie's done NASA stuff in space.
Make sure you're very good with measurements and Dremels and stuff before you go and do that crazy. But yes, just don't tinker with anything.
Yeah, whenever people
really
complain about Dobie's work, I'm like, have you put shit in space?
Yeah.
Because I don't think you've put shit in space. Dobie put shit in space. Did you put shit in space? No.
Yeah, the gearbox is important. I'm sure this one will stir
Sounds like you're kind of being a dick.
Weird conversation up. But yeah, just if you don't have a reason to mess with it, just leave it be. That's at least what we do.
Yeah, I typically just leave the gearboxes the way they are. Like, it doesn't really save anything to cut them apart. But I do try to make brands match bodies. So, like, if I'm doing a VFC body with a drop-in, I'm going to get a VFC gearbox because it'll be a little easier to do alignment stuff with brand to brand.
Yeah.
If you do, like, a different brand, you might run into some harder variations that are... You know, you're going to run into some problems, but it'll be a little bit more difficult from different brands that are mixing parts.
Yeah.
MBS Rambo 6 days ago edited. Hey, Amp, 2-part question. Will you carry the next batch of GMR Minimaps? And what is your favorite opinion on Airsoft? What is your... wow, I don't know why I put favorite in there. I think I'm dyslexic. And what is your opinion on Airsoft cheater videos? #re. #GMR as F. # he burned my patch. # stale memes. # did you just assume my HPA system? Okay, fair. Fair. So we're going to go backwards. I do not like cheater videos. I don't like videos that point out people who are cheating. I don't like videos that are just casually pointing out people who cheat.
Clickbaity cheating things.
Like a gameplay video is like, dude, that dude cheated. I don't like that. First of all, this is a hobby. We're all supposed to be adults, or at least mature.
Yeah.
Stop being a child. 1. 2, just because you feel like you got slighted, grow the hell up. It's a game. Like, seriously, if you're getting butt mad about that, like, you're a child. And 3rd, 9 times out of 10, people who claim other people are cheating aren't hitting them. You just aren't.
No.
You aren't. I've seen footage from people, and I've seen footage of longer, and you 9 times out of 10 you're not hitting them.
Yeah.
Like, you're just acting like a angry baby. You're just like, stop it. And the GMR Minimaps, if they release another batch, we will get a set.
If it's not like a small limited one, if there's a larger one.
As long as it's not the limited batches, we'll get a set. Because he sells his super limited ones for his website personally, and then when he makes the mass production sets that are in 2 coyotes and Ranger Green and a multicam, we'll get those. So, TBH, LMAO.
Yo, Kazur, hey, Amp, I was wondering how you guys approach research when you're building a new kit. Do you do a lot of Googling or ask certain people? Greetings from the Netherlands. Yeah.
Get me Netherlands stuff.
That'd be cool.
I'll trade you American stuff for Netherlands stuff.
It is a ridiculous amount of finding reference photos of what you're trying to go after, and then like finding high-res versions of it, and then just like nitpicking, and then
making friends.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is our Dom and a couple of our other buddies that are close to the shop.
They're doing the Grom kit with us.
We're all doing Polish kit, and we are like just straight talking to dudes in Poland right now. Like
prior service military, collectors, reenactors, like
and
they're super friendly.
Yeah,
they're so friendly. The dudes from Poland are so friendly.
Yeah, we've got like amongst like probably about 30 of us across the country, there's like thousands of dollars worth of Polish gear flooding the market.
I know that in the last month and a half, I have spent with the gun, the kit, the uniforms, the plate carrier, the patches. I have probably spent upwards of $800 so far, and I'm about maybe halfway done.
Yeah, it's just I think everybody just like slowly snowballed, and then like it just fell off a cliff one day, and then everybody's just going full bore for it. And it is a little stressful sometimes because like you have to hunt and like find specific things, but it is fun. Like I've never
done this.
Granted,
before. Never done this before.
Dom is putting in a lot of like work and a lot of like Steve,
we would be nowhere without Steve and Dom and
we're lucky because they're just like, hey, you need these things.
Steve, Dom, and Nick. Without those three, like we'd still be pretty.
So they're just like, hey, you need these things. My Polish friend can get us these things. Give me this amount of money, and then this thing appears.
Also, the exchange rate for Polish stuff is stupid good too. So like, I'm not really usually very mad because whatever I put into it, I get a lot out of it.
Yeah.
Like I ain't mad.
So far, Polish gear's pretty hot, so
it's pretty cool. I like it. So be advised, there could potentially be.
And to the dude who asked the thing like forever ago about the Polish kit video, like he said, yeah, we're gonna try and do something a little different with that.
It's going to be cool. It's not going to be like the standard...
It should be pretty cool.
It's not going to be like the standard ones that we have now that you've seen of our gear videos so far.
Yeah.
I want it to be a lot less talking and a lot more visual.
Yeah.
So...
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure out something cool for it. Oliver Eagleton. What do you guys think about the Blue Force gear chest rig with the 4 Blue Force gear mag pouches? What would I do about mounting like a flat pack or something similar to it? Okay, so first of all, that's the very first Blue Force gear chest rig. That is the original model. Everything else has come after that. So the one with the integrated mag pouches is the original. This might be the newest version of it, but that's the original style. Those have been around for a long time. They're super cool. I don't dislike them anyway. The only thing they really did change about them was they used to be all these pouches all the way across, and they kind of cut like the 2 of them off the end and put Molly there so you can add other stuff to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're super nice. Now, they use the same standard ITW 1-inch buckles, so literally you just take the harness off and just clip the flat pack onto it, and that's it. Might be a little further spread apart, but it doesn't matter because it's a backpack.
Is it a H harness?
I believe that one's an X harness.
Okay. If you have a little bit of extra strapping and stuff, like I've seen if dudes take like the GMR Minimaps, if they have an H harness, just hook it on the bridge across the back, and then get an extra like tie down to hook it into the strap that comes around your back.
Also possible.
It's a small and light enough pack. Same with the flat pack. Like you can easily just hook it onto the back strapping.
Should be no issue.
Yeah.
Basically, as long as they use 1-inch up, as long as whatever uses 1-inch buckles, ITW standard 1-inch buckles, like it'll be fine and cross compatible.
Whoops. Anthony Lizio?
Yeah.
Privyet Amped. I was wondering if you have ever played as Reg 4 at an MSW event. Do they generally dick around more than NATO or Rust 4 since they're militia? Would you recommend playing as Reg 4 for my first time at MSW since I don't really have all my gear together yet?
Yes.
Also, does Reg 4 work with Rust 4 closely or just loosely? I'd play as Rust 4 if I could, but I sadly don't have cash out the ass. Splumping, love the show. 99. I haven't been to the Insurgency style game, so it plays differently there. But normally, Reg 4 is 99% of the time just considered part of Rust 4.
They are like they're a less strenuous on kit and also less strenuous on commands and structure than Rust 4. So like the Rust 4 is like the graduated version. Like basically, if you want to do Rust 4, go to militia first. Then you basically like unofficially after a couple events graduate up into
Because
Rust 4.
You only need minimal kit. You just need all the basic like survival, all that stuff items.
Yeah, you can get away with like some pretty
stripped down guns and basic
stripped down
kit.
guns and basic kit and really basic uniforms, and you're fine. You can even mix woodland and OD as your uniforms in.
Yeah.
So like you don't have to have all Russian camouflages. You can like get like OD pants.
Yeah,
not tactical looking pants, but like
just get like
regular BDUs.
Yeah. A lot of dudes who are stepping into it, but you can tell they're testing the waters. They'll just have like get a plain M4 with nothing on it.
Yeah, like that.
Green
Right
BDUs and some like Vietnam gear
just like that.
or like some crap from a surplus store. And
yeah, basically you can build the entire Reg 4 kit if you don't have anything from a surplus store for sub like $200, $300. Yeah. Everything. At minus the gun, everything for like that includes like your sleeping gear, like your ruck.
Yeah.
You can go to a surplus store and get all of it for like $200 to $300. Like
so it was meant to be because Russian kit is somewhat hard, especially certain things to get in. So it's meant for dudes to be able to bolster Russian numbers. So it's not like 70% NATO versus 30% Russian, something like that.
And besides, since it's a scenario of a NATO invasion of Russia, like it's a war that started and then basically NATO is now pushed into Russia.
Yeah.
According to the storyline, it basically makes it so that now there's partisans, and those are the civilian population, and they are helping to bolster the ranks of the besieged army as they're trying to keep the NATO aggressors back. So so like that's what the Reg 4 is. I'd say personally. Do it. If you guys are curious about MSW, but you don't want to buy a lot of kit and look super fancy as NATO or super spud as like Russian, like go militia. You'll get the experience, but you can save some money. Mm-hmm. A lot of dudes just go militia. Like they don't even go to either team. They just solely go militia.
Yeah.
So like it's completely doable and have some fun with it. Oliver Eagleton again. Hey Amped, I was playing Airsoft over the weekend and there was a scrawny little 10-year-old with an L96. I think it may have been his first time playing. Everybody looked at him like he was a toxic waste disposal. My team took him on our team and we told him where to sit, and he sniped literally like 20 dudes. I saw it myself. He was asking people to help him after the game to give him some tips, and everybody ignored him except me and my buds. I went to the chrono range and told him how to do stuff like how to sneak around and how to find enemies, and imagining that you were the enemy. I asked him if he wanted his sniper sighted in, and he said, "What's that?" So I explained it to him, and his dad thanked me, and he covered a right flank in the next game like a boss. Story time. He was quick-scoping enemies left and right. It is just me, or does it seem like older, more experienced players turn a blind eye to younger, newer players who don't spend $2,000 on kit? Basically, yes. TLDR, are older players mean to young kids? I would say typically no. Honestly, the dudes who help younger players the most are the oldest dudes. Mm-hmm. The dudes who have been in as long as me and Matt. He's over a decade, and I'm pushing a decade on our time playing BB Gat guns. Like, we're the guys that help the young kids out. The dudes who've been in the longest and do have thousands of dollars a kit. It's the dudes in the middle that are dicks.
It's the people who have just recently taken that jump within like a few years or sooner into the I spent all this money kind of stuff into it, where they think they've like up-tiered sort of thing. Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, I always help kids when I go play.
Yeah.
That's like basically a defaults into me not getting to play. Because I have to help so many kids all the time. Like, I don't get to play, actually, because I have to help people.
I mean, yeah, good on you guys for helping the kid out. I'm sure he had that's the thing, is he probably had 10 times more fun than he would have by himself. So that goes a lot for the hobby in general. Now that kid is going to, he's going to start taking in videos, and he's start learning more about Airsoft. He's going to go to more games. He's going to get out and, do a somewhat physical hobby.
I will say that there is a limit, though, where you can teach people stuff, but then after that you're coddling them.
Yeah.
And dragging them along behind you. There is a moment where you have to, let the baby bird fly from the nest, and hopefully it learns to flap its wings or it smacks against the ground. That's at some point, we can't all be constantly babysitting people.
Yeah.
They're going to need to figure it out on their own, and that's part of the thing with a competitive hobby like this, is that you're trying to, you're trying to get better as well as everyone else around you. So, that's important. I like helping people, no doubt, but there's also a time when it's okay, I told you what you need to know.
Fix it.
Go for it, man.
Yeah.
Well, my gun's broke. Be what did I tell you last time? Well, then do that. My niceness only goes so far.
So we're gonna reset the cameras and start the live show, because double dipping.
Woo! See, you guys are on Ask Amp. Live show, live show people.
Yep, there's a thing.
See,
There's a thing.
You guys are on.
He's doing the thing.
You guys are on Ask Amp. So get dizzy. So for a while you're just gonna sit right here and
So I'm gonna be like
look at my
this way.
look at my face when it's shaved. It just looks like a fat baby.
Aw, this dude just watched the entire outtake series. I feel like you just lost a few days of your life.
Why did you do that? All right. Anyway, so I'm gonna grab a question.
So we're finishing Ask Amp right now. So we'll get to you guys in a hot minute.
Matthew Northrup, that UCP Delta in the background. Dudes, I'm glad enough people knew what UCP Delta was. I'm actually like happy about
Mentioned
that.
it enough.
Yeah. Like, Bailey Davis, hey Amp, I was curious, what are your guys' favorite real steel rifles that you've gotten to shoot? Also, what's a gun you've always wanted to shoot? After shooting a Chris Vector, I want one so bad, can't afford it. I know the feels. Love the show. What was the favorite rifle you've ever shot or wanted to shoot?
Dude, airsoft or real?
Realsies. For realsies.
I say this every once in a while when we get the same question, and I'm trying to like remember what my last answer was because I don't want to sound like I'm lying. Because I don't remember.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If they're watching enough episodes to like know the difference between one answer and the next, you know what? They need to stop because we are not worth that amount of time. Mm-hmm. We are not worth it, guys.
It's probably like a... Oh, I'm totally brain farting what the hell it was. It was something that was on Demolition Ranch. The Falcor seems pretty hot.
That Falcor does seem pretty hot.
Pretty funny to shoot somebody.
So,
something with that.
My favorite rifle that I own that I shoot regularly is my 7mm Magnum bolt action. Oh, that thing messes stuff up. My favorite rifle weapon system period that I have shot that I don't own is the M2 50 caliber machine gun. Holy crap! If you're in the military and you shoot everyone who's been in the military will tell you if you shoot a 50 BMG, like just shooting it is just instant boners. Like you shoot like a 3-round burst and you, like literally everybody when they shoot a 3 to 5 round burst, the very first one they all go. Whoa. Everybody does this. They go ooh. So like straight up. Oh man, cutting like a huge burst on that and like blowing something up. You're just like. You get done and like you'll cackle and laugh when you're getting shot at. Like you'll just be like, yeah, it's exciting. Like it is never not fun to shoot a 50. It is never not fun.
I would definitely want to shoot a 50.
No,
that's a good thing.
Maybe if we get to go to SHOT Show, I can take you to range day and I'll get you on a 50 cal. Right?
Like $5 a round.
Who cares? That's worth it. You know what? I would buy you a 20-round belt and let you cut loose on a 50. I would do that for you. I think everyone should get to experience that once.
Yeah.
Everybody should get to do it once.
Cass Inbound. Hey, Amped, would you ever consider coming to New Zealand for Airsoft? At which point your flight would be diverted to Florida where you will have nothing to do at all? Question mark. Aw. I don't know why the hell the flight would go to Florida if we're going to New Zealand, but...
I would much rather go to New Zealand. I've been to Florida. Florida's just meh.
Aw.
I mean, Florida's okay, but like, that's the Lord of the Rings, dude. There's like mountains and hobbits and shit. They actually have
Florida?
the Hobbit. No, in New Zealand.
Hey.
They actually have the Hobbit village from Lord of the Rings, like actually built there. You can go visit. It's a tourist attraction.
That's pretty awesome.
That's awesome. Tell me that's not awesome. I'd do that in a heartbeat.
I did that.
Everywhere I'd go, every time I'd go to anywhere in New Zealand, I'd just be like, dun 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 dun.
Tolkien, where are you?
Like, I would just do Lord of the Rings quotes and be absolutely insufferable. Like, where are the Kiwis? Show me a Kiwi. Pro Cosmic Wolf. Hey, Amped, out of the 3 big brands, TM, Bolt, and KWA, for recoil-based guns, which ones have you played with? And if so, what was your favorite? I have extensively used a KWA ERG and a TM recoil shocks. Though I've never owned them, I've gotten to play around with them a lot. Mm-hmm. I would say that they are both pretty good. Yep. I'm not a big fan of the Bolt. We've had a bunch of those come in for tech work, and they were not like they were not good.
Just for the layman's, not the Wolverine Bolt?
Not the Wolverine Bolt, like the Bolt brand like recoil gun.
Because I thought that for a second, I'm like, wait, the Bolt has recoil? Oh, that thing. I've tinkered with the recoil shocks more. I think I like that a little more. It's just that they're a little harder to come by sometimes.
Oh my god, I can't believe I missed the bucket from 6 inches away. Sorry.
Jackson Mayhoff. Hey, Amped. Love the show. BT Dubs. I'm getting into Grom Polish Kit. Would the MP7 be okay to run with Grom impressions? No. Hashtag normies get out.
Well,
You're pinging on normie levels,
You're
dude.
pinging on normie level, fam.
You're pinging.
TBH LMAO.
Get good.
Get good. Revert to the gromble.
Learn it.
Learn the gromble.
Read the tax op. Read the gromble. Read the tax op.
Read the gromble. Read the insurgency tax op. Read the gromble again. Like,
print the gromble out and sleep on it.
oh my god, you know what we should do for the probies? We should make them print out a whole copy of the gromble and carry it with them and treat it like they do in the army with the smart book. Be like, where's your gromble? And be like, be like, push-ups till you find it. Like, just
how are you supposed to find it if you're doing push-ups?
that's the joke. That's
It's not fair.
That's what's life. That's what's life, my man. Hitman SVT. Luke Nichols. I thought about that, but I'm going to... Okay, this was an answer to another... Oh, we're
Get rid of that.
We're going to skip that one. I don't... Oh, that was in the wrong 10. All right. Let's do this one. Kyle Ramsey. I really want to get together a Canadian Ranger Patrol kit, and I want to know how much it'd trigger the Spec Ops kids to get smoked by a group of Letterkenny TV
Yes.
quoting Canucks. Hashtag buddy couldn't wheel a tire downhill. Hashtag make like a tree and fuck off. Hashtag filthy Canucks. Hashtag C7 or Lee Enfield.
I can read that entire statement.
You should join Task Force Maple Leaf on Facebook if you're into doing Canadian kit. It's an MSW group base, but they do Canadian kit all over the place, and that is where you find all of the syrup flage. All of the syrup flage is there. Syrup flage is there, fam.
Oh, holy name. Solius Captainovus.
I'm not answering these
Whoa.
questions right now.
Hey guys, tell me what's the best AEG inner barrel and hot butt bucking and I will go buy it. Oh, that's dangerous.
Best AEG inner barrel is the Pinyan Tactical Magnum barrel.
Not wrong.
Only available here at www.ampedairsoft.com.
So shitty. He's not wrong, but it's like rip wallet.
Rip. You should get you should get a bunch of PDIs.
Yeah, get a PDI.
Get a bunch of PDIs. PDI barrels.
Get this fancy ass thing. I don't even know if it's good.
We haven't talked about this yet, but we will. It's a thing.
Blake Pope, is there a good TAR 21 AEG? Externals are important.
The only real one that's actually any good is the Elite Force one.
Does someone else make one?
Well, Ares used to make a specific to Ares one.
Yeah.
Now Ares makes the Elite Force one, and Elite Force is like, hey, yo, bro, make this good. And so they keep sending it back and making them make it better.
That's fun.
So that's about it, really, TBH. I'm a sped. Aw, that hurt my feelings a little.
Got him.
Your boy is going to that Milson West in Virginia, and I'm fucking psyched it's like, because I like chicken tendies.
What even was that statement?
I don't know. That's, I told you I left some of the ridiculous ones in there. OS 7. Do my previous earned patches at Black Sheep qualify me for MSW events? Well, no. But, if you bring those...
Wear them in game.
If you bring those to an MSW event and you light them on fire in front of us, I might give you extra ammo. I'll give you a little extra ammo if you burn your other event patches in front of me.
Call sign Russian. I'm thinking about going to a mouse fart pew from a Tipman, and I'm considering the N7. This is probably a stupid question, but can you make the N7 burst like kind of fast as long as it's the electro-pneumatic? Thanks, bro chi-chis.
Bro chi-chis, huh? I've never heard of that before. Have you heard of that before? I've never heard of that before. Whatever.
Do you want to, spam trigger the N7?
But the N7 is going to shoot faster.
Yeah.
That's just a default. All the electro-pneumatic HPA systems are going to shoot faster than the Tippmann. Rip.
Yeah. If you want to stay with mouse farts, get the Milsim N7. That thing makes a really funny noise. There's more noise in the air leaving the thing than there is in the mechanism. Or do I have that backwards? Yeah, whatever. Come on.
Yeah, basically the mechanical one, the trigger is what's loud on it because
Yeah.
it has this like weird like ka-chunk. But the electric one's a lot quieter, so it's like. It's still louder than some of the other ones though because it has a nozzle forward.
Well, this dude says he has an Inferno Gen 3.
Fun fact, not real. So,
Sorry for those of you on Ask. We have the live show running.
the live show is running right now. I feel
Double
bad for those
dipping.
dudes because I am not paying attention to anything they're saying right now.
We'll get to them later.
Stick around because I might poorly answer their questions. Das Dwarf, hey Matt, this might be an odd question. This weekend I got myself a Nikon D600. What would be a good lens range for starting out some on the field photography? Currently I have a 24 to 85 f3.4 to 4.5. Thanks in advance.
I'm sorry, I snuffed at a kit lens.
That is mean.
I know.
That is mean. You photography snob.
I'm a fucking elitist.
You elitist.
I will always tell everybody bread and butter right off the bat. Get a 50mm 1.8.
Yep.
You can get
50
those for like $150.
50mm lenses are great. You can use those on DX cameras and full frame cameras. Those are great. And they're cheap.
That lens should do you pretty decently, especially because that's a 600 is crop sensor, so that should do pretty decent for you actually for a while. Get a 50. I mean, a bread and butter is going to be a 24 to 72.8, but I mean that's like $2,000.
That's
so,
real, fam. That's real. Real stuff.
Message me on Facebook if you can find my thing. I'm like brain farting what decent lenses are out from Nikon right now because I'm like kind of old school. But if you want to talk more camera stuff, just shoot me a message, man.
Yeah, camera stuff.
Oh, no.
Did you just purposely throw that dude's camera? You're like, oh, this is big. Fuck that guy. Like,
Yes, Airsoft. I've heard some talk about a big milsim on the East Coast. Is this true? Where will it be? I've heard New Hampshire, but I'm not sure. Thanks, dude.
There's a
Great
bunch
show.
of them happening, man.
It's the East Coast. There's games everywhere.
There's games everywhere. Okay, the only place in America that sucks.
Define East Coast.
The only place that it sucks in America, if you like to play BBwarz for like high level gameplay, is in the middle. If you live on the West Coast, there's plenty of games, and if you live on the East Coast, there's plenty of games. But if you live like in the middle,
Yeah.
in like Cornland, like you're bored.
Something's going on in Kansas. Like
You're bored.
I've been
bored.
selling
I'm
a bunch of
sorry.
my old stuff
Like-
off, and I've shipped like 4 things to Kansas. I don't know what the hell's going on there. Because shipping's like stupid to ship. But yeah, go for it. It's the bullet button. For
I'm gonna read the big question that you threw on the ground. Hey, I'm from Iowa, and I think it's been stated before that we only have one established field in the
How are
entire
you lining
state.
these questions up?
It's a far drive for me. I took things into my own hands and created an airsoft club at college I attend to start introducing more people to airsoft. Good on you.
There you go.
I also contacted a local ATV park, and they have agreed to allow the club to hold events there. Do you have any attempts for making the events as fun and refined as possible for everyone, especially beginners? Appreciate it, guys, and keep pumping out the great content. Hashtag fieldless state. Cornfields for miles. And good Lord, give us something. Like, dude. Yeah, man. Whew. That's a rough, man.
It's got a lot going on there.
Iowa. That is a flyover state for sure.
Oh.
I can't think of one thing I've done in Iowa where I've been like, man, that was great. I will come back for
I
that.
don't think I've ever done anything in Iowa, and I don't plan to. Sorry.
Honestly, the most important thing about hosting events is to, one, come up with a pretty decent plan of how you want it to go, and know the layout of the land so that you can change it on the fly. Because you're going to need like 3 or 4 levels of planning, because sometimes people will get the thing that's supposed to take 4 hours done in 5 minutes.
Yep.
So like you need to have like 4 backup plans, but really the best thing about it is to know the lay of the land and to bring some props so that you can run on the fly. Also, what you should do is take people that you really, really trust to keep the game moving and put them as the command sections on both sides of the 2 teams so that they can control how fast and how slow things happen. So like if your friends are like, dude, we're getting really close to your base, bro, and I'm going to be like, hey, I'm going to send like half my dudes the other direction. So that way like we don't end the game in 5 minutes. I'm like, okay.
I think some people view that as like staging or like reenacting, and like I don't think so. Usually, like
I think at the end of the day, if everyone's having fun and as long as the individual encounters are not scripted, I think that's good, because especially at low level play, like it can be so unpredictable that like at least at high
low level play, you especially don't want to make sure you want to make sure that there's not like the one team that comes in and just keeps wiping the field over and over. You want to like divvy stuff up so that it's equal, sides for the most part. Get your, obviously, all the logistical shit like insurance, get all that stuff square, whatever you need to actually run things, private property, yada yada. Make sure everyone's gear is square, chrono them. That's all the mom and dad shit that I'm thinking of, but just do that, just go have fun. Take a small crew out there, see how it goes, get a slightly bigger crew, and then go from there.
Yeah. That's what I would suggest. Really, just having a lot of information at the beginning is super solid.
I'll do one more each, and I think we're there. Ricardo Relvis. Hey, Amped Team. Short and concise.
Yeah, we're on a team finally. High five.
Your remarks about the KWC Mini Uzi, both CO2 and GG mags, and in comparison, KWA MP9, also GHK G5. What is going on here? Oh, it's Google Translate. I'm sorry.
Oh, we got a Google Translate guy. I'm sorry.
Milsim ops with lots of bad weather and possible river crossings. Some say they aren't reliable guns due to bad internals, but others say they are excellent guns, except the G5, which is overall awesome, but not a real gun, and
True.
$70 per mag. Thank you, Amp. Keep up the awesome work.
I know a dude corrected him in the comments. They are not $70 a mag.
Well then.
Truth. So he was actually corrected in the comments, so we're going to start right there.
Might be just wherever he's able to get them.
Not
They're
$70
expensive.
a mag.
But,
I would say that I would avoid that Uzi and KWA MP9. I've seen some dudes who have KWA MP9s that work really well, but I've seen a lot of them explode, a lot.
Yeah.
So I would avoid those personally.
Mm-hmm.
GHK makes a really solid product. Honestly, I would get their AK or their M4 line before I would get the G5.
Yeah.
Though the G5 is pretty cheap. That's the good thing about the G5 is it's really cheap.
Yeah.
But it's all polymer and stuff, which could lead to you cracking stocks and bodies and stuff like that. So I would get if you're gonna do gas blowbacks, get a really high brand M4 or AK. That's what I would do.
Let's get the
or you just get
get
an AEG.
Yeah.
AEGs work better in the cold. Get an HPA
Sounds
gun.
like he's doing some river crossings and shit though. I'm like,
AEGs will still work if you soak them.
Get a Titman.
Get a Titman. Titman will fine.
Let's get a Titman.
Get a Titman.
Oh, it should be fun. Do it. Last one. It's
Last
a Bible.
Last question. Read the grumble. Oh, it's Cullen. Cullen's in the live show too.
Oh, hey.
Hey, what up, man?
Hey, that means we can cut this one out, right?
Yeah, really, you don't get this one. Cullen, hey, Baze, Anthony, I'm going to miss you at Rust Off this year. Yeah, I'm not going to be at Rust Off this year. It's bummer sauce. I'm sorry. Especially seeing as you were there last year for my first time at MSW. Also had no idea who you even were until Evan started to fanboy over you. Matt, what would it take to get you out to the West Coast to Gromit's meetup with us? Pun intended. Also, how is your wee little Frenchie? How's Bodie doing? How's Bodie the puppy doing?
He's probably pissing and shitting on something I love, and he's scared of a 6-foot-tall fern. But other than that,
he's trying to kill your fern right now, which is super fun.
It's a plant, and he's scared shitless of it. It's pretty entertaining.
It's pretty edgelord.
They're called clown dogs for a reason. Thank you for asking, but he's great.
Anthony, when will you do a pleb to pro? How to girls? Seeing as you have,
we gotta figure out how to do that first.
Seeing as you've succeeded in finding a unicorn, technically you've succeeded as well, Matt. So this is just an East Coast thing. That was literally all he has. It's just a bunch of fun statements. First thing is that if you've already started playing Airsoft, for the live stream kids too, if you've already started playing Airsoft and you haven't found a girlfriend yet, or a boyfriend, whatever you're into, I'm not gonna discriminate. If you haven't found one and if you've already started, it's too late. You're too much of a nerd and incompatible with other human beings. Just accept it and be comfortable with all of your expensive material value things. If you've already found a girlfriend, a wife, boyfriend, or whatever you're into, you stand a much better chance of keeping them if you start Airsoft after, because then you can slowly introduce them to it until the point where I carry home a bunch of new stuff that I didn't tell her I bought, and she just goes, does it still fit in the stupid whole entire room that you have for stuff? And I'm like, yes, it does. And she's like, okay. And then she just lets it go.
Can we still pay rent this month?
Can we still pay rent? Yes. All right, cool. But if you started playing Airsoft first, it's exponentially more difficult to attain companionship. Mainly because they just feel like they have to compete with the thing you already like.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's a financial competition thing.
So...
It's true.
Yeah. The West Coast... Oh. The main camera died. Our bad. We're very professional here.
It broke.
It's going.
It's going now.
I don't know how I'd get out West Coast. Maybe eventually.
Yeah, man, I'd like to get you out to a West Coast
I
event.
want to see all the West Coast.
I want you to go to Washington.
Yeah.
Dude, Centerville, that field is like, just for photos alone,
Yeah.
you would go nuts there. It is beautiful there. I can't wait to go back for Stavropol. That place is gorgeous. Stavropol, or I'm sorry, I don't speak Russian. I'm sorry. But like, so like, yeah, that place is. I would love you to go there. Just the terrain, it's varied enough to where like, even though there's huge sight lines in some places, you can still get into some micro terrain and really like sneak up on people even in the open. It's great. I would love to get you to that one. I really would. Yeah, that would be super swag.
Maybe one day.
Maybe May. See, we can probably.
No, they're both in May, aren't they?
Or no, this one's in April. No, yeah, we can go in April. You can ride out with me. Because I'm just gonna. Steph wants to go too, so she can take more pictures. You can ride out with me if you want.
It'll be a photo party.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can play too. But you can ride out with me if you want.
We'll see.
Because she wants to go, so that means we'll probably convoy or do something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Cool. This was another mediocre thing that we do.
Yeah, double dipping, fam.
Oh no, my questions went away.
Stavropol.
Oh, there's someone actually typing in Russian on here. Ooh.
Anthony rides a pole.
So
Fair.
yeah, that was 63.
Yeah, you already corrected me, so now I know. Yeah, it's 63. But thanks for stopping by, guys. If you have questions, drop them down below in the doobly-doo.
Yep. Next episode.
New stuff that's coming out. We are getting in some test products of this brand new maxmodel.com hop-up. I guess you guys get to see that now too in the live show. We're gonna test this guy out as well as some of their other internal parts. We have like piston heads and like spring guides and all kinds of stuff. We got a huge restock of retro arms.
The split gearboxes with the hop-up that locks in.
Funsies.
So those Gucci-ass things.
We just did a video on the most underrated chest rig ever. The LBX lock and load chest rig.
Mm-hmm.
I believe a lot of you guys who are on a budget should be buying that, honestly.
It's hiding up front because it's camouflage.
We also have a super spooky thing that we're gonna probably start doing here pretty soon. I'm just gonna tease it to you. I don't want to give it to you in too much detail right now.
I'm just gonna hold it here for a second.
Yeah, so
if
that
you can tell what it is.
So that way, like, we're just gonna tease it. So that way, like, you guys can see it, but I'm not gonna tell you much about it. So be on the lookout, BT Dubs, for.
Your hands are cold, by the way.
My hands are very cold.
My God, man, you were like frigid when you came over here.
But yeah, so thanks for stopping by. Questions down below. Episode 63 is out.
Yep.
Catch you on the flip.
Peace.
Doses.